The underestimated species. Commander Elena Vasquez stood at the observation deck of the Galactic Federation station, watching the endless stream of alien vessels moving through space. 50 years had passed since humanity first joined this vast community of species, and she still felt like an outsider. The other races treated humans like children who had just learned to walk among the stars. The morning briefing had been particularly humiliating. Ambassador Zethkar of the Veltheri Consortium had dismissed human concerns about border security with a wave of his six-fingered hand. "Your species lacks the wisdom that comes with age," he had said in his buzzing voice. "Leave such matters to those who have navigated the galaxy for millennia." Elena clenched her fists as she remembered the condescending looks from the other delegates. The humans were always given the smallest voice in discussions, the least important assignments, the most basic technology. They were tolerated, not respected. Her communication device chimed with an urgent priority signal. The display showed Admiral Marcus Chen's weathered face, his expression grim. "Elena, I need you to return to Earth immediately. We have a situation." "What kind of situation, Admiral?" Elena asked, moving to a more private corner of the observation deck. "The Krillian Empire has launched a full-scale assault on our outer colonies. New Shanghai, Kepler's Hope, and Terra Nova are under attack. The Federation Council has been notified." Elena's blood went cold. Those colonies housed over 10 million human civilians. "What's the Federation's response?" Marcus was quiet for a long moment. "They've decided not to intervene. They claim our colonies are too far from their core territories to defend effectively." The words hit Elena like a physical blow. After 50 years of loyalty, of following Federation rules, of accepting their condescending treatment, they were abandoning humanity in its darkest hour. "How long do we have?" she asked. "The colonies are falling faster than expected. The Krillians are using some kind of new weapon technology. Our standard defense fleets can't hold them." Elena closed her eyes, thinking of the families on those worlds, the children in schools, the farmers working the fields. "I'll catch the next transport to Earth." "Elena," Marcus said, his voice dropping to almost a whisper, "when you get here, I need to show you something. Something that will change everything you think you know about humanity's place in this galaxy." The connection ended, leaving Elena staring at the blank screen. Around her, alien diplomats continued their casual conversations, unaware or uncaring that millions of humans were dying while they debated trade regulations. The journey to Earth took 18 hours on the fastest civilian transport available. Elena spent the time reviewing reports from the attacked colonies. The Krillian Empire had struck without warning, using massive ship formations that overwhelmed human defenses. Their technology seemed far more advanced than previous intelligence had suggested. Earth looked the same as always when her transport approached the blue and white marble of humanity's homeworld. The orbital stations were busy with normal traffic, and everything appeared peaceful. It was hard to believe that humanity was facing its greatest crisis since joining the galactic community. Admiral Marcus Chen met her personally at the spaceport, something that surprised Elena. Marcus was approaching 70 years old now, his once dark hair completely gray, but his eyes still held the sharp intelligence that had made him Earth's most respected military leader. "Thank you for coming so quickly," he said as they walked toward a waiting transport. "I know this must be difficult for you, watching the Federation abandon us after everything we've done for them." "How are the colonies holding up?" Elena asked. Marcus's expression darkened. "New Shanghai fell 6 hours ago. The others won't last much longer. The Krillians are using some kind of planet-cracking weapon. They're not just conquering our worlds, they're destroying them completely." The transport took them not to Earth Defense Command headquarters, but to a military facility Elena had never seen before. It was built into the side of a mountain in what used to be called the Canadian Rockies. The security was unlike anything she had experienced, with multiple biometric scanners and guards who seemed to be from Earth's most elite special forces. "Marcus, what is this place?" Elena asked as they descended deeper into the mountain complex. "This is Project Titan," Marcus replied. "For the past 47 years, humanity has been preparing for exactly this scenario. We knew that someday the galaxy would abandon us, that we would have to stand alone." They entered a massive control room filled with holographic displays and hundreds of technicians working at advanced computer stations. The technology looked far more sophisticated than anything Elena had seen in Federation facilities. Captain Sarah Mitchell, a young officer Elena didn't recognize, approached them with a tablet full of data. "Admiral, all 7 primary assets are in position and ready for deployment. The Krillian fleet is exactly where our projections predicted they would be." "7 assets?" Elena asked, confused. "What kind of assets?" Marcus smiled for the first time since Elena had arrived. "Elena, I want you to meet Dr. James Park, the chief architect of Project Titan." An Asian man in his 50s stepped forward, his eyes bright with excitement and exhaustion. "Commander Vasquez, it's an honor. I followed your diplomatic work closely. You've done an excellent job maintaining the illusion that humanity is just another minor species." Illusion? Elena was beginning to feel like everyone was speaking in code. Dr. Park gestured toward the largest holographic display in the room. "For 47 years, while the galaxy has dismissed us as technologically inferior, we've been building something they never imagined possible." The display activated, showing 7 massive objects floating in deep space. Elena gasped as she realized what she was looking at. These weren't ships in any conventional sense. They were artificial worlds, each one the size of a small planet, bristling with weapons systems that looked like they could crack moons. "We call them Titan-class planetary warships," Dr. Park explained. "Each one is capable of destroying entire star systems. We built them in secret, in rogue solar systems far from any inhabited worlds, using resources and technology the Federation never knew we possessed." Elena stared at the display in shock. "This is impossible. How could you hide something this massive? The construction alone would require the resources of dozens of worlds." "That's exactly what it required," Marcus said. "While our diplomats like you were keeping the galaxy's attention focused on our apparent weaknesses, our best engineers and scientists were working around the clock on the greatest construction project in human history." Captain Mitchell stepped forward with another update. "Admiral, Terra's Wrath is in position near the Kepler system. Shall we proceed with the demonstration?" Marcus turned to Elena. "For 50 years, the galaxy has treated humanity like children. They've dismissed our ideas, ignored our warnings, and now they've abandoned us to die. It's time they learned the truth about what we really are." On the main display, one of the massive planetary warships moved into view of the Krillian invasion fleet. Elena watched in amazement as the alien ships, which had seemed so large and threatening when attacking human colonies, looked like insects next to the enormous human construct. The Krillian fleet immediately opened fire, their weapons creating brilliant flashes of light against the Titan warship's shields. The weapons that had been destroying human colonies barely registered as minor fluctuations in the massive ship's defensive systems. "This is Admiral Marcus Chen of the Terran Defense Force." Marcus spoke into a communication device that would broadcast across all known frequencies. "To the Krillian Empire and all who can hear this message, humanity is no longer asking for permission." Terra's Wrath powered up its primary weapons system. The entire front section of the planetary warship began to glow with energy that made nearby stars look dim by comparison. When it fired, the beam was wider than most spaceships were long. The entire Krillian invasion fleet simply vanished. Not destroyed in explosions, not broken apart by impacts, but completely vaporized by energy weapons that operated on principles the galaxy had never seen before. Elena couldn't speak. In less than 5 minutes, humanity had gone from being the victim of an extinction-level attack to demonstrating the most powerful military technology anyone had ever witnessed. "There are 6 more just like her," Dr. Park said quietly. "And they're just the beginning of what we've built in the shadows." On the communication channels, Alien voices were screaming in dozens of languages as the destruction of the Krillian fleet was broadcast across the galaxy. The same species that had been too busy to help humanity were now demanding explanations, threatening retaliation, and pleading for mercy all at the same time. Marcus looked at Elena with tired but satisfied eyes. For 47 years, we've let them think we were weak. We've accepted their insults, their dismissals, their condescension. We've played the part of the primitive species that needed their guidance and protection. But why? Elena asked, finally finding her voice. Why hide this? Why not reveal your strength from the beginning? Because, Elena, the greatest weapon humanity has ever possessed isn't our technology or our ships. It's our patience. While every other species in the galaxy acts on emotion and immediate desires, we think in decades and centuries. We plan for situations that might not arise for generations. Captain Mitchell approached with a new report. Sir, we're receiving communication requests from every major government in the galaxy. The Federation Council is demanding an emergency session. Several empires are attempting to mobilize their fleets. Marcus nodded calmly. Let them mobilize. Let them make their demands and threats. They're about to learn that humanity doesn't just survive by adapting to the galaxy. Sometimes we make the galaxy adapt to us. Elena looked back at the display showing Terra's wrath moving silently through space, a testament to human ingenuity and determination. The scared child species that had begged for acceptance 50 years ago was gone forever. What happens now? She asked. Marcus smiled again, but this time it was the smile of a predator who had finally revealed his fangs. Now, Elena, the galaxy learns what happens when you underestimate humanity. And trust me, they're going to be very surprised by what else we've been building while they weren't paying attention. The communication board lit up with thousands of incoming signals from across the galaxy. Every species, every government, every military force wanted to know the same thing. What else were the humans hiding? They were about to find out. The hidden arsenal awakens. The emergency session of the Galactic Federation Council convened within 12 hours of the Krillian fleet's destruction. Elena Vasquez stood in the human delegation area, no longer the dismissed junior diplomat, but now the representative of a species that had just demonstrated the ability to vaporize entire fleets with a single shot. Ambassador Zethkar, who had been so condescending just days before, now avoided making eye contact with her. The chamber buzzed with nervous energy as hundreds of alien species tried to understand what they had witnessed. High Chancellor Mordek of the Federation called the session to order with his traditional ceremonial staff, but his voice trembled slightly. We are here to address the unprecedented military action taken by the human delegation in the Kepler system. Elena stepped forward to the central speaking platform, her footsteps echoing in the suddenly silent chamber. For 50 years, humans had spoken from the smallest, least visible section of the council chamber. Today, she walked to the center podium reserved for major galactic powers. Honored delegates, she began, her voice carrying clearly through the vast space. Humanity thanks the Federation for this emergency session. We have much to discuss. War Master Thislan of the Veltheri Consortium slammed his armored fist on his delegation's table. You will explain this violation of galactic law immediately. No species is permitted to possess planet-killing weapons. Elena smiled calmly. War Master, humanity has violated no laws. The Federation Charter specifically prohibits the use of planet-killing weapons against inhabited worlds. The Krillian fleet was destroyed in open space while actively committing genocide against human colonies. Admiral Marcus Chen's image appeared on the chamber's main display screen, broadcasting live from Earth. Distinguished delegates, I am Admiral Marcus Chen, Supreme Commander of the Terran Defense Force. I am here to inform you that humanity's relationship with this Federation has permanently changed. The chamber erupted in angry shouts and demands for explanation. Elena raised her hand for silence, and surprisingly, the room gradually quieted. The simple fact that aliens were now listening to human requests for order showed how dramatically things had shifted. For 47 years, Marcus continued, humanity has faithfully served this Federation. We have followed your laws, respected your territories, and contributed our resources to galactic peace. In return, you have treated us as primitives unworthy of respect or protection. Dr. James Park appeared beside Marcus on the screen. Behind them, the Project Titan control room hummed with activity as dozens of technicians monitored displays showing star systems across the galaxy. What you witnessed at Kepler was Terra's Wrath, the first of 7 Titan-class planetary warships. Dr. Park announced, each one represents the pinnacle of human engineering and our absolute commitment to never again depend on others for our survival. Emperor Kolvas of the ancient Zephyrian dynasty leaned forward in his hover throne. This is impossible. Our intelligence networks monitor all major construction projects. No species could build such massive vessels without detection. Marcus's expression hardened. Your intelligence networks monitor known inhabited systems and establish trade routes. They do not monitor the thousands of dead solar systems, rogue planets, and deep space regions where humans have been working for nearly 5 decades. Elena activated her personal display device, projecting a 3-dimensional map of the galaxy into the chamber's central space. Red dots appeared in locations throughout the galactic rim, areas most species considered worthless empty space. These are the construction sites where humanity has been building not just our Titan warships, but an entire industrial infrastructure the Federation never knew existed. Elena explained, while you debated our primitive status, we were hollowing out rogue planets, establishing mining operations in dead systems, and developing technology that makes your most advanced weapons look like ancient artifacts. The display zoomed in on one of the red dots, showing a massive industrial complex built inside a wandering planet that had been ejected from its solar system millions of years ago. The scale was breathtaking, with manufacturing facilities that stretched for hundreds of kilometers through the planet's core. General Lisa Rodriguez appeared on the communication screen alongside Marcus and Dr. Park. The strategic deception required for this project has been unprecedented. Every human diplomat, every trade negotiation, every request for assistance was part of a carefully orchestrated plan to make the galaxy underestimate our true capabilities. War Master Thistleon was visibly struggling to process this information. You're claiming that humanity has been deliberately appearing weak for half a century. Not appearing weak, Elena corrected. We were weak when we first joined the Federation. But unlike other species, humans do not accept weakness as permanent. While you assumed our limitations were fixed, we were working to transcend them. Captain Sarah Mitchell's voice came through the communication system from her position aboard Terra's Wrath. Admiral, we have confirmation that all 7 Titan warships are now in position at designated coordinates. Shall we proceed with the full demonstration? The chamber fell silent. Even the most arrogant delegates understood that they were about to witness something that would change galactic civilization forever. Marcus nodded grimly. Proceed, Captain. Show them what humanity has built. The main display shifted to show 7 different star systems simultaneously. In each system, space began to distort as massive objects emerged from hidden fold space positions. The Titan warships appeared one by one, each one a unique marvel of human engineering. Terra's Wrath, which the galaxy had already seen, was joined by humanity's Vengeance, a sleek vessel designed for speed and precision strikes. Earth's Fury appeared near the Veltheri home system, its surface covered in weapon arrays that could bombard entire planet surfaces simultaneously. The 4th ship, Prometheus Unbound, materialized near the galactic core, its exotic design suggesting technologies that operated on principles no other species understood. Solar Dominion appeared at the edge of Zephyrian space, its hull incorporating what looked like miniature stars for power generation. Titan's Legacy emerged near the Federation capital system, its massive sensor arrays clearly designed for intelligence gathering and electronic warfare on a galactic scale. Finally, Infinite Resolve appeared in the neutral zone between major empires, a fortress ship that radiated defensive capabilities beyond anything previously imagined. Dr. Park's voice filled the silent chamber. Each Titan warship represents a different aspect of human military philosophy. Terra's wrath is our statement that we can destroy any threat. Humanity's vengeance shows we can strike anywhere instantly. Earth's fury demonstrates our ability to control entire systems. Prometheus Unbound, he continued, incorporates technology that most of you would consider impossible. Solar Dominion can create or destroy stars. Titan's legacy knows the location and capabilities of every ship and facility in the galaxy, and Infinite Resolve can defend any position indefinitely. Emperor Kolvas was the first to find his voice. The resources required for such construction would bankrupt most empires. How did a minor species accomplish this? Elena smiled with genuine pride. Because we're not a minor species, Your Majesty. We never were. We simply chose to let you believe we were while we built the infrastructure to ensure our survival. Engineer Victoria Hayes appeared on the communication screen, speaking from what looked like a massive shipyard facility. The 7 Titan warships you see are not our entire fleet. They are our diplomatic fleet, designed to demonstrate human capabilities to the galaxy. Our actual military reserves remain classified. The implications of this statement sent waves of shock through the chamber. If these planet-sized warships were just for diplomacy, what did humanity consider actual military assets? Admiral Chen stepped closer to the camera. For 5 decades, every human who joined a Federation vessel, every scientist we shared with alien research projects, every cultural exchange program, was gathering intelligence and quietly assessing the galaxy's true military capabilities. We know the shield frequencies of every major fleet, the location of every secret military base, the personal command codes of every significant military leader. While you were dismissing us as primitives, we were learning everything about you. High Chancellor Mordek finally managed to speak. What are humanity's intentions? Do you plan to conquer the Federation? Elena looked around the chamber at the faces of delegates who had treated her species with condescension for decades. Some showed fear, others anger, but all showed a new recognition of human power. Conquer you, Elena repeated. Chancellor, conquest implies we want something you possess. We have our own territory, our own resources, our own technology. What we want is respect and equal treatment, and the assurance that no species will ever again dismiss human concerns or abandon us to face extinction alone. Marcus reappeared on the display. The Federation has 3 choices. First, you can attempt to mobilize your combined fleets against humanity. This would result in your complete defeat and the collapse of galactic civilization. Second, you can continue operating as you always have, ignoring human interests and treating us as a minor power. This would result in humanity withdrawing from the Federation entirely and establishing our own sphere of influence with any species wise enough to join us. Third, you can acknowledge that the galaxy has fundamentally changed, that humanity is now a major power deserving equal voice in all galactic affairs, and that the age of dismissing any species based on assumptions about their capabilities is over. Elena looked directly at Ambassador Zethkar, who had been so dismissive in their last interaction. The choice is yours, Ambassador, but choose quickly. Patience may be humanity's greatest strength, but our patience with being underestimated has officially ended. The chamber remained silent for long minutes as delegates processed the new reality. The small primitive species they had barely tolerated for 50 years had just revealed themselves as potentially the most powerful force in galactic history. War Master Thistleon was the first to speak. What guarantee do we have that humanity will not use this power to dominate other species? Elena smiled, and for the first time in her diplomatic career, it was the smile of someone negotiating from a position of absolute strength. The same guarantee you offered us when we begged for protection from the Krillians. None. The difference is, we don't need to conquer you to achieve our goals. We just need you to treat us as equals and never again abandon us when we face extinction. The vote was unanimous, though Elena suspected fear played as large a role as wisdom in the decision. Humanity was granted permanent major power status in the Federation, with equal voice in all decisions and full access to previously restricted technologies and territories. As the session ended, Elena remained on the central platform, watching as alien delegates filed out in stunned silence. The galaxy had changed forever in the span of a few hours. Marcus appeared on her personal communication device. How does it feel to be respected instead of tolerated? Elena looked up at the display showing the 7 Titan warships maintaining their positions throughout the galaxy, silent monuments to human determination and ingenuity. It feels, she said quietly, like we're finally showing them who we really are.